Hi, thank you so much, and welcome to my channel. For all the newcomers, thank you for your likes, shares, and subscriptions. I just wanted to touch bases with everybody today in regards to cord cutting. I get a lot of people who come to me for help in their twin flame journey, of course, and a lot of the times they don't realize that the biggest hindrance in them being able to move forward in a harmonious union with the highest attracting mate for them would be to make sure that they cut all of their energetic cords that they've had with karmic debt relationships. And a lot of the times, people are really confused in the nature of what the twin flame dynamic is or divine partnerships dynamic. It's been called so many different things, but it is a matter of having the essence of yourself being embodied in someone else, and that essence is your soul's energy, and you do share that frequency with another. Anyone who is a twin flame or who's been following this, I'm pretty sure that there's been a lot of different takes on what exactly is a divine partner or a twin flame. And what I pick up from spirit in regards to this dynamic is just that what I said before is the fact that you have the same soul signature energy. So a soul consists of masculine as well as feminine, and we, although we carry both the embodiment of masculine and feminine energies, the soul in itself, the seat of our energy, everything that we are animated from, it also has a fingerprinted identity, so to speak. And just as though everybody's fingerprints are different, everybody's soul sequence and soul frequency is different. However, when you're speaking of the matter of your divine partner, that person carries the exact same signature or frequency, if you want to call it genetic DNA. I don't really want to call it that, but more or less it's like soul DNA if you really want to kind of get specific. But it is programmable only for those who carry the same sequence. So I'm saying all of this to basically get back to the point of how people can become confused about this twin flame dynamic. And a lot of the times, karmic debt situations where there's a deep seated karmic contract that needs to be fulfilled, or soul encounters that you have that are leading you up to this divine partnership and a divine encounter, sometimes they can be very heavy in your history, and it can also weigh heavy on your spirit, which will kind of keep people in vicious cycles with repeating the same lessons with that same person karmically throughout history, or they continue to repeat those types of lessons with similar people that carry similar energy. So they have to continue to, manifest these situations so that they can learn and ultimately become enlightened. And the road to the twin flame union is ultimately also the road to enlightenment, and to have true balance within your mind, body, and spirit, and also be able to balance that with another person that has also been able to accomplish the mind, body, spirit balancing, as well as the nature of the frequency between the two of you guys are able to balance. Because generally a person who is en route to the twin flame union, they have activated a power source within themselves that will allow them to just really have high frequency. And usually those who are interested in this dynamic, they usually are more people who are more or less coming in tune with their own sense of spirituality, and they have their own ways in how they tend to see life. And generally we all kind of have the same mindset, that we're looking, to be rooted in love. We are looking to be love, and we are all lovers of, of all kinds. We really are the type of people to just give and to just do. We're humanitarians at heart. So we were all kind of brought here for the reason of being able to elevate Earth's frequency, I want to say, by just with the way that we are, just being who we are energetically. We're here to raise the core frequency of Earth in order to expedite the process of the switch to the fifth dimension. And this is why the dynamic of twin flames coming together in such a alarming rate, and the popularity of this happening as well, because this isn't something this is definitely a dynamic that has been known for over the centuries and throughout the ages. It's been called many of different things, but right now it's happening in such a massive capacities due to the fact that it has everything to do with the interdimensional shift that we're going to be experiencing very soon. And spirit, the universe, whatever you'd like to call it, we have celestial help that is actually shifting and allowing us to come all into the alignment of what is in the intentions is was meant for it to be when it comes down to the partnership and the dynamic of twin flames coming together here on the 3D realm. These relationships, they already exist on an energetic field, but when you're speaking of 3D, we're here to basically tear down all of those templates that were energetically stored in humanity's memories banks in regards to what love should be, and what the nature of relationships should be. And it has not been based on the ideal or premise of divine love or an unconditional love, because society has trained us to have partnerships based on material aspects more than the divine aspects of it. And on top of that, it's just definitely got skewed when we just don't really seek enlightenment and from the start. And to be honest with you, we become impure in ourselves when we intermingle with others in a way that is not sanctified in the pure essence of who you are vibrationally with your source. And when I say that, it's about, for me, it's more or less about keeping your body cleansed with impurities and of sexual energy from various partners. And usually the more sexual energy that you exchange, the more emotional dynamics that you have to deal with, because you are exchanging DNA, you're exchanging emotional frequencies, and these things create energetic cords that tend to stay as long as you continue to keep them around. And they generally will continue to amplify as you continue to have sex with these partners. But even if you cut them off and then years later you're not really talking to them, but you still have an energetic pull from them, it's because the cords have not been fully cut energetically. And it's a lot of the times people really haven't been able to meet their divine mate, or a union with them is because of the fact that there's so much of an energy blockage within their own heart chakra frequency, from past lovers, dynamics that they've had with other people, that is still lingering within their heart chakra space. And it's very important, in order to cut these cords, for you to acknowledge the lessons in every relationship that you have been pulled to be involved in. So whether it was a long-term relationship, short-term relationship, if it was a sexual relationship, whatever type of relationship that ended with you being emotionally tied to this person, that is where you would need to acknowledge. Because generally, karmic debt relationships, where you are attracting soulmates, people who kind of prepare you for the twin flame dynamic, they all have something that initially attracted you to them, that has a bit of I want to say a bit of an essence of your divine mate along with them as well. So it's kind of like, throughout your soul's journey of healing in the love area, you kind of go through, if you can really take a look back at all of your mates, all the people that you partner yourself with, or if you were placed in relationships, certain aspects of them, if you were attracted to them, there are certain things that your twin has elements of as well within these people. So they kind of mirror each other in certain ways. You can look at that and see, you can actually greet that old relationship with a little bit more appreciation, because then you can see what they've prepared you for in the dynamic of your partner, your divine mate. So, and also the lessons that you learn from them, of course, the things that did not suit you well in the relationship, those are things that you should consider. But you really want to look at that in a grudging way, because it will only seek to pull you out of the healing part of what needs to take place when you're cutting these cords. Essentially, you want to be able to allow yourself to see fully what it is that you had with this person, and allow yourself to fully see the lessons that you needed to learn when you were in this relationship. Because normally when you're going through things, you really don't understand why, and generally it takes some time of real reflection to be able to understand the why, and even if you don't get down to the bottom of the why, sometimes it takes more of a reflection to just make peace with it all and just have full acceptance. And really and truly, a lot of the times when we go through traumatic experiences with people in relationships, it's very hard to go back and make this peace. And this is why there's a lot of hang-ups I'm feeling with a lot of people who are ready and willing and prepared to receive this love, but energetically they're still frightened from whatever torments that they've been through in the past, and they haven't necessarily taken time to allow themselves to fully make peace with whatever traumatic relationships that they have involved themselves in. Now, the peace can be made with you understanding your karmic history. Sometimes the traumatic events happen from ripple effects of previous lifestyle events that just kind of rippled into this lifestyle. So sometimes it does take for you to go deeper into the Akashic records for you to be able to really be able to make peace. And other times you don't necessarily have to, if you're able to just love beyond the shadow of whatever doubts that you have, and not be afraid to embrace whatever traumatic experience with genuine love and appreciation for what it taught you. And sometimes it's very hard to do. It is. And it really just depends on what you've been through. But I can only say, as a person who's been through a lot in my own experience, in my own short life, it is very tough when you're sitting on that side of the fence and you want to see the good in someone and you just can't. But there is something there for you to appreciate. And it may take you some time to really step away from it. And sometimes time is of the essence as well with these wounds. But if we're talking about elevating to the status of having your frequency and your dynamic at the highest capacity that you need to be in order to attract your divine mate, these are things that you're going to have to be willing to make peace with. And time would be of the essence in that case, because that would just depend on whether or not you see the need for you to want to join with and have union with your mate, or you would see the need to continue to hold on to the pain of the traumatic experience. And you just kind of get to a point where you just have to weigh it all out and see what is it that you are really desiring, so that you can move forward and progress with clearing out these energies. And it's never really a quick fix when you're dealing with, past experiences and past traumas. But what there really is time to gain a better understanding of yourself when you do these reflections. And it also allows you to see what it is that you saw in these people that attracted you to them in the first place. It allows you to really see the good in them again. And from there, the peace can come, because we've all came here to grow. We've all came here to learn life experiences, and ultimately it's to raise our soul to another level in learning. In this cosmic reality that we live in, it's all university. Everything is learning. Everything is about what our soul came to experience, to fulfill that destiny, to be at the highest level in which we were made to be. And whatever that is for you, you have to find that within yourself. But ultimately, this is just to encourage you to understand that cord cutting is very important for you to not to intermingle your sexual self, your aura with people at random, because it definitely carries a heavy blow when it comes to how it plays out karmically with your path to your divine mate. So keeping yourself abstinent is a very good way of clearing out a lot of these traumatic energies from the past. It's also a good way of allowing yourself to just energetically heal, so that you can regurgitate out all of the unnecessary toxic energy, and eventually you can see the peace. And you can do that by, just like I said before, making sure that you take the time, create a list, allow yourself to see the pros, see all the things that you didn't like in the relationship, and don't see it as just, I don't want that to happen again, but see it as, what did you learn from it? What is the biggest takeaway that you got from this relationship? And greet it with gladness, greet it with appreciation, that you are no longer in that state of mind, that that person is no longer affecting you in the way that they did that caused you to not be with them anymore. But also just look at where it has brought you in your growth, as a person, as a human being, as a person who is capable of love. What did it teach you in regards to that? And these are the things that is what's most important, to being able to honor them and honor that that lesson that they came to teach you, and the wisdom that they brought you, and do it with gladness, so that you can enter into this new phase of a relationship with joy and gladness. And you deserve all of that, but you can't block it with holding on energetically to the past. And the only way that you're going to really let go of the past is to take a look at it with a fine-tooth comb, allow yourself to make peace with it all, and see yourself where you want to be. Allow those bullet points in what went wrong in the relationship to really guide your eyes and your vision as to what you really would desire to feel fulfilled in the relationship, because this ultimately is about you. What is it that you would like to see? What is it that you didn't get and didn't have in reciprocation in the past that you now would like to be able to achieve in this new relationship? Because ultimately you are going to raise your vibration enough to receive it, and that person will be capable of being able to give it to you, because you are mirrors of each other, and you guys will both rise to the occasion of what you guys can complement each other with. But right now is the time for you to make these decisions, for you to be firm in them, so that when the union comes, you can be completely fulfilled and you're not looking for anything more, because you had the time to digest all the things that you don't want, and it made you clearly decide all the things that you do want. And then that way, when your divine mate comes, you can be fully satisfied. This is what it's all about. It's about being able to really resonate with the highest essence of yourself. And you do that with another person, that is real love right there. And that's something you don't want to deny yourself the power of coming together with someone who is you, essentially you, just in a different body and with different life experiences. How amazing is that? How much love can there really be between two people if you can really find that and have it? It's amazing. And you don't want to lose that. And the only way that you won't be able to keep that is if you don't have room in your heart for it. And your heart chakra is connected to that person. And if it's cluttered with energy from other relationships and other traumatic experiences, it keeps you energetically from being able to bond deeply with that person who carries your soul energy. That is a magnificent phenomenon, just to even know that there's someone out there that carries this energy, and to have acquainted them, to be able to get to know them on several levels, and to be able to mate with them is definitely icing on the cake. So the idea of having your divine mate is more to it than just having a relationship. It's not about a perfect fairy tale. It's really about bringing the world into a perfected love. It's about showing the world what love purified is, what the purity of the divine love can be, is only going to be shown between the two individuals to each other, because they're the closest to the divine that they have to each other, because you are mirroring to them their soul's energy. That's powerful in itself, because you can't really see the divine unless you can see the essence of you. And when you really are able to see your soul embodied in another person, you are getting a chance to see the divine. You really are. And it allows you to be able to just really come into the oneness of your highest self when you have that love. And it is all about enlightenment. And so if you're really not on the road to wanting to grow spiritually, energetically, and then this twin flame dynamic, the road to that is not really for you. You may just be in it for the idea of having a perfect relationship or something that feels good, and if it's about material aspects for you, then this isn't for you. You're maybe just looking for a karmic relationship, a soul contract, something with someone that's going to teach you a lesson. But to have this soul stirring experience, you really have to persevere to it. You really have to allow yourself the momentum to heal and really vigorously not doubt the process. And you also have to greet every single experience that you've had in the past with everybody else with happiness and joy, because they weren't it for a reason, and they didn't work out because they weren't supposed to. The one that is waiting for you, the one that is there for you, the one that carries your soul frequency, if you're on this journey to merge with your twin, I implore you, seek that love, for it is the highest love you'll ever receive out of a human being on this earth. You can get love from your children, you can get love from your parents, but when it comes to the all levels of love that you can get from one individual person, romantic, platonic, divine, just love, and all areas of where you can think of love can come from, that is something that you are getting when you get that with your divine partner. And it's unconditional. It just comes out of nowhere. It has no reason, no rhyme, and it's not logical. It just is. And that is purely divine, and it's worth it. So I implore you, cut these cords. If you really want to make it to your twin, if you really want to, experience the pure goodness of divine loving, you really are going to have to allow yourself to see what's not truly divine, and allow yourself to let go and just see that, yeah, they were learning experiences. I've learned what I needed to know, so now I can be prepared for where I'm wanting to go. And that is just with the best of the best for me. And that can only be me, for me. As narcissistic as that might sound, it really isn't, because who can know you better than yourself? And I think that this is the reason why these twin flame partnerships really work out when they are in harmony. When they do come together in full balance, people are able to really have a good time with one another, because they're able to explore each other on so many different levels, because we're a multi-dimensional creatures, and we have our essence is just all over the place in several different dimensions as well. So it's like when you are able to have that with someone, it's like being at home. And really and truly, there is no place like it. So I wish everybody that's on this journey a successful, happy, and harmonious union. Cut all those cords to the holes so that you can break free and allow that heart to be healthy and whole for what is already there waiting for you, which is the love of your divine mate. So good luck to everybody, and I hope this helps. Namaste.